Okay, so that was mixing for 10 minutes on number 2 speed on an Andrew James mixer. Okay. Which, to be honest, this mixer is perfectly fine if you're not using it all the time. I don't make pizza every day of the week. It's more of a kind of hobby, special occasion for me. Once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So I'm not necessarily recommending a mixer, but it's been perfectly fine for me up to now. So I'm just going to take that out. Just get this mixer out of the way. Okay, so you can see I'm just going to knead it slightly. I'll get it smoothed up a bit more so you can just get it smoothed off so it comes in together. Okay, so that's the ball that we're left with. It's not massively smooth, you can see that's still tearing slightly. Alright, but because we fermented it for another 2 days in the fridge, it'll smooth itself off and it'll carry on creating the gluten anyway. So you don't need to, if it's still a bit rough like that, you don't want to overwork it in a mixer, that's the only danger. Alright, so it's just in a nice ball, as it is. I'm going to split that into 4 and I'll show you how to ball up the dough balls. Okay. So I'm just going to split it into 4. This is just a kind of bog standard dough cutter. We'll split it into 4. I'm going to show you what I use to put them in. Okay, so there's 1. 2. These are weigh about 170, 180. Quite thin and crispy 8 to 9 inch pizzas, which fits my frying pan perfectly. So there we've got split into 4. Before I'll show you how to ball them up, I'll show you what I put them in personally for ease, especially when you're getting them out and keeping a shape. These are just containers from, I've got these food containers from Morrison's. They are White Fairs food stores. We're just going to put some oil in the bottom of them to stop the balls sticking while they ferment in the fridge. So I'm just using a pastry brush. I did have a spray, but it broke on me for making this video. So the pastry brush is fine. If you haven't even got a pastry brush, just tip a little bit of oil in, spread it around with your nice clean fingers after you wash them first. Oil in the bottom. And how we ball these up into dough balls, you see there's holes in there. Right, so you get your fingers underneath the dough like that, so you can see like that, and you're pulling it in. This is how they ball mozzarella up, which is why it's called the mozzarella, because I'll show you what the mozzarella bit is called. So you're getting your fingers underneath it like that, folding it in itself, so you can see that sort of collects in there. I'm going to squeeze it. That's a good squeeze, and then you flatten it. And then you're going to smooth it off like that on the table to a nice round dough ball. And there's your dough ball. Right. We'll put them in the oiled container like that, and then what we'll do to stop them drying out, we're going to get some oil on the top of them as well. We'll do the next one. Alright. So it's triangle shape, obviously because we've cut it with a dough cutter. Alright, then just get your fingers like this, like that, folding it into itself like that. There, you see, it's all this folded bit's kind of punched up. Get it there, piece there. That's the bit that's called the mozzarella, that's why mozzarella is called mozzarella. Alright, so you're squeezing all those bits in there. Push it down on the table, roll it around to get it all nice and sealed. It's actually been a bit slippy today. Right. Double. The reason I like these containers here is because they've got the rounded edges there, so when that dough ball spreads out, which you'll see when we come to stretch them, it's holding its shape, and you're just getting your fingers in there to let it out because it's already oiled. It's coming out really easily. If you use the kind of like long, flat boxes that you use in takeaways, it's a little bit more tricky, it's a little bit more difficult. There is a space saving argument for why you would do that, although I don't think these take up that much more space than the traditional method of storing dough balls, especially for the home cook. So we're getting our fingers in there like that, holding it under, and that's that mass there, all folded under. Right, I'm just doing it with my hands because these dough balls are quite dry, so they're not catching on the table to roll dough ball. Right, in the oiled container. And last one. Right, triangle. Fold. 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 Let's do one more fold. See that's all there, all the folds are collected together. Get them in, squeeze. Alright, and we'll just get that just nice and melded together, ready for fermenting. Right, there you go, dough ball. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll line these up nicely. We're just going to get some oil on top. You can use water. I find it can make them a little bit too wet sometimes, so we're just going to use oil. Just enough to get them covered. Right. Pastry brush, you could use your fingers, anything you've got to hand, especially if you're just trying it out. Save you buying going wasting loads of money on equipment if you're not gonna carry on with it. Alright. Go, oil on the top. Oiled. The lids on. Don't put the lids on all the way flat. You want a little bit of air to escape out of there, so there's going to leave that. There's a little bit of air can escape there, so they're not closed all the way down. I'm slipping about like a madman. Alright, so this lid's on. Literally, the only function this serves is to keep them from drying out in the fridge. Right. And then these are going in the fridge. What you can do, I mean, it's up to you. There's some playtime with this. If you really want to get into it, and there will be an advanced section for going right in depth with this, you could leave them out for a couple of hours first just to get them going. I'm going to put these in the fridge straight away, and they'd be going in the fridge for at least 48 hours at least. Alright, so this is a 3-day process for creating your pizza dough. Alright, so 48 hours. I wouldn't, if it's in summer, if it's dead warm, don't go over 2 days, because they'll go past themselves. They'll go past their best because they'll over ferment. So 2 days in the summer, 3 days possibly in the winter, and then once the 2 days have passed, we'll get them out. I'll show you how to stretch them, and then we'll get them on the frying pan, get them cooking straight onto the grill, and we'll cook ourselves some nice, tasty sourdough pizzas.